Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from first group. We would like to present our material about area of focus translation equivalence by Antoine Berman. So before we continue our presentation, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Fatimah Zahra with student number 119.
My name is Huru Nazia Ramadhani with student number 152.
My name is Nur Fitria Soleha with student number 155.
For the first material will be explained by Hurin.
Theorist biography of Antoine Berman. Antoine Berman, born in Paris, France in 1942. Berman, a French theorist and scholar, made a significant contribution to translation theory. Berman was raised in an intellectually stimulating environment, likely influencing his later academic pursuits. He attended the famous École Normale Supérieure in Paris, where he studied literature and philosophy before getting his agrégation in philosophy in 1966. Berman wrote several notable books of his career, notably The Experience of the Foreigners, which was released in 1984. Berman emphasized that translation is more than just a mechanical transfer of words, it's also an interpretation, negotiation, and transformation. His approach focused on preserving the source text foreigners, pushing for translation that retain cultural and linguistic idiosyncrasies. Berman emphasized the translator function as a mediator, bridging linguistic and cultural boundaries while maintaining the integrity of both texts, which delves deeper into his style on translation and intercultural communication issues. Berman's contributions have had a significant impact on translation theory, leading scholars and practitioners to resist traditional conception of equivalence and faithfulness. His focus on the creative and transformative nature of translation continues to drive research and debate in the field. Okay, next, main points and principles of translation theory by describing the key concepts, methods, and/or approaches. Concept theories and cultural linguistics. Berman's core concept is observe the stranger, which translates as the trial of the foreign. He adds that translation entails dealing with short text foreigners and navigating its cultural and linguistic subtleties. According to Berman, this interaction is not just difficult but also an opportunity for both the translator and the target audience to develop and enrich themselves. Berman sees the translator as cultural and linguistic intermediary who connects language and culture rather than striving for absolute equivalency or accuracy. He advocates for translation that retains the short text foreigners while making it accessible and meaningful to the intended audience. This approach recognizes the inherent diversity between language and culture while emphasizing the value of successful communication. Ideas of translation and aspects of translation. Berman opposes the idea of translation as a mechanical process of substitution, advocating for a more interpretive and artistic approach. He believes that translation must discern the meaning and the objective of the source material and imaginatively represent them in the target language, taking into account cultural context, grammatical inaccuracies, and aesthetic concerns. This demonstrates the translator's active engagement in molding the translated content. Berman also emphasizes the ethical aspect of translation, emphasizing translation responsibility to maintain the integrity and authenticity of the source text. He once again emphasizing dominant cultural standards or ideologies in translation, instead arguing for attention to the cultural and ideological context of both the source and target text.
This slide is about discuss the theory. At first, different methods or procedures seems to be countless, but they can be condensed to just 7, each one corresponding to a higher degree of complexity. In practice, they may be used either on their own or combined with one or more of the others. Generally speaking, translators can choose from 2 methods of translating, namely direct or literal translation and oblique translation. In some translation texts, it may be possible to transpose the source language message element into the target language because because it is based on either parallel categories, in which case we can speak of structural parallelism, or on parallel concepts, which are the results of metalinguistic parallelism, but translators may also notice gaps or lacunae. For the next slide, we have 6 practice or how to understanding translation equivalence. The first, procedure borrowing. Second, procedure chaikui. The third, literal translation. The fourth, transposition and relation. The fifth, procedure equivalence. And the last, adaptation. So what is procedure borrowing? It is to overcome a lacuna, usually a metalinguistic one. For example, a new technical process and an unknown concept. Borrowing is the simplest of all translation methods. It would not even merit discussion in this context if translators did not occasionally need to use it in order to create a stylistic effect. For instance, in order to introduce the flavor of the search language, or SL culture into a translation, for instance, may be used for example such Russian words as rubles, duchess, and apparatchik, dollars and party from American English, Mexican Spanish food names tequila and tortillas, and so on. In a story with a typical English setting, an expression such as the coroner spoke is probably better translated into French by borrowing the English from coroner. The next slide. Rather than trying to find a more or less satisfying equivalent title from amongst the French magistrature, for example, Le Coroner Prit la Parole, some well-established, mainly older borrowings are so widely used that they are no longer considered as such, and have widely used that they are no longer considered as such, and have become a part of the respective TL lexicon. Some examples of French borrowings from other languages are alcohol, redingot, pakubot, kajo, etc. In English, such words as menu, carburetor, hangar, cheat, and expression like déjà vu, and the others. So for the next slide, we have what is procedure chaikyu. Chaikyu is a special kind of borrowing whereby a language borrows an expression from of another, but then translators literally each of its elements. The result is either a lexical chaikyu, as in the first example below, which respect the scientific structure of the TL, Weasley's introducing a new mode of expression, or structural chaikyu, as in the second example below. And French chaikyu therapy, occupational, bénico, pour le commerce et le développement des squared grains la première. So for the next slide is about literal translation. Literal translation is literal or word translation is the direct transfer of a CL text into a grammatically and idiomatically appropriate TL text, in which the translator's task is limited to observing the adherence to the linguistic servitudes of the TL. Transposition, the method called transposition, involves replacing one word class with another without changing the meaning of the message. Besides being a special translation procedure, transposition can also be applied within a language. For example, I'll announce will refinery can be expressed by transposing a subordinate verb with a noun dus. In contrast to the first expression, which we call the base expression, we revert to the second one as the transposed expression. In translation, there are two distinct types of transposition: obligatory transposition and optional transposition. So for the next slide, we have modulation. Modulation is a variation of the form of the message obtained by a change in the point of view. This change can be justified when, although a literal or even transposed translation results in a grammatically correct utterance, it is considered unsuitable, unidiomatic, or awkward in the TL. As with transposition, we distinguish between free or optional modulations and those that are fixed or obligatory. A classical example of an obligatory modulation is the phrase "the time when," which must be translated as "le moment o." The type of modulation which turns a negative CL expression into a positive CL expression is more often than not optional, even though this is closely linked with the structure of each language. The difference between fixed and free modulation is one of degree. In the case of fixed modulation, translators with a good knowledge of both languages freely use this method, as they will be aware of the frequency of use, the overall acceptance, and the confirmation provided by a dictionary or grammar of the preferred expression. And for the next slide, we have equivalence. Equivalence is we have repeatedly stressed that one and the same situation can be rendered by two texts using completely different stylistic and structural methods. In such cases, we are dealing with the method which produce equivalent text. The classical example of equivalence is given by the reaction of an amateur who accidentally hits his finger with hammer. If he were French, his cry of pain would be strengthened as I, but if he were English, this would be interpreted as ouch. And another example in this below. So the next slide is about adaptation. Adaptation is with this 7 practice or method, we reach the extreme limit of translation. It is used in those cases where the type of situation being referred to by the CL message is a noun in the TL. With this 7 method, we reach the extreme limit of translation. It is used in those cases where the type of situation being referred to by the CL message is a noun in the TL. A methodology for translation 91 culture. In such cases, translators have to create a new situation that can be considered as being equivalent. Adaptation can therefore be described as a special kind of equivalence, a situational equivalence. Let us take the example of an English father who would think nothing of kissing his daughter on the mouth, something which is normal in that culture but which would not be acceptable in a literal rendering into French. For the example, 3 examples of translation text to illustrate the application of the theory. The language pair is en and id. In English, I left my spectacles on the table. In bahasa, saya meninggalkan kacamata saya di atas meja. In English, where are you? In bahasa, di mana kau? In English, this train arrives at Union Station. In bahasa, kereta ini tiba di stasiun Union jam 10.
For the next is theory informs translation, decision, and strategies in each sample. Antoine Berman's theory emphasizes cultural specificity, interpretation, and dynamic appropriateness. The example above show the use of the theory in decision making by culturally relevant and aesthetically pleasing translation. For the example, for the first example is I left my glasses on the table. Translation decision. The word glasses may not be commonly used in Indonesian, so you have to decide whether to translate it literally or use a more general term like kacamata, which means glasses. For the strategy, in this case, the translator decides to use kacamata, which is more general a term glasses in Indonesian. In addition, the sentence structure has been slightly modified to improve the understanding of Indonesian language. For the second example is where are you? For the translation decision, the English sentence lacks the subject you in Indonesian, which is often implied and can be omitted. For the strategy, the translator decided to omit the subject you from the text Indonesian translation according to language custom. The translation is concise and preserves the origin meaning. For the last example is this train arrives at Union Station. For the translation decision, the English word at can be translated into Indonesian di, but there may be other option depending on the context. For the strategy, the translator chose to use di in Indonesian translation to show the place of arrival. The term Union Station is retained because it is a proper name and does not need to be translated. And the next is reference, and this is our references. That's all our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.